Hello, friends. It's time to get back in front of the computer and start looking at other people's tanks. It's Show Me What You Got 6. This is the sixth installment where I take tanks from the community and just kind of look them over. We talk about them. Uh, Hopefully, get a little bit inspired off some of the community submissions that have come through. This has been a yeah, although not super well received in views, it's been very popular in that I think my core subscribers really like it. So I'm going to keep making them. I'm going to keep going through all these submissions. A lot of times I am going in the order that they came in, and for the most part, like occasionally I'll look, but for the most part, I'm not looking at these before they come up, so they're a complete surprise. I do think I'll jump the line because a friend of mine sent one of his tanks in. Wow, I guess I could have shaved for you guys. Sorry about that. Let's take a look at our first aquarium, or our first submission anyway. And this person has a YouTube channel. It's called Racing 1278. I'm going to switch over here to this other view. Okay. Before we dig into this too much, let's take a quick look at his YouTube channel. If you send me a link, I think I can go ahead and pull it up. And I'll give him a subscribe. Oh wait, I'm already subscribed. Look at that. Very neat. So that's a little bit of what he's got going on. Yeah, looks like some good stuff on there. Let's take a look at his tanks. He says, got some pictures. This is Rob, and he's got some pictures. There's an evolution of my 55 from start to current. Also, pictures of my 29, my 7.5 gallon shrimp tanks, beta sorority, and cichlid tank. Enjoy. Okay, let's see. All right, so I'm guessing that's the 55, maybe. Interesting. Ooh, that's neat. Wow. That must be the 7.5 gallon. And that's a neat looking little tank. What's going on here? Got something sitting in there. That's kind of interesting. That would be a pretty tank, probably, except for that. Oh, that looks neat. Lots of fish there. Oh, I love to see lots of neons. Are those cardinals? No, those looks like neons because the red stripe's only halfway across. They look great. Looks like you got one like ready to go here, maybe to go plant in something else. Sometimes I'll throw mine in. I'll throw some of my stuff in while I wait. And I can't really tell what the evolution is. Like this might be, maybe this was an early one, and this is a later one. Yeah, I think that's the way it is. That's neat. That looks really nice and lush, very very well grown in. Let's see. This is the cichlid tank. Cichlids are interesting. I've never really gotten into them. Um, I can see why people like them a whole lot, but it's never really been my thing. I really love the plants and stuff, and these guys just rip up the plants. So, all right, very cool. Thank you. This next one's from Cole, and he says, "Sorry about that." He said that I think I got a few emails in that didn't have pictures attached, and I was like, "Hey, there's no picture there." But let's take a look at this tank. Oh, that's a really neat. That's a really neat kind of beginner getting it started tank. Looks like he probably has a little canister filter going there. Looks to be like maybe dwarf hairgrass or something on the bottom. Little sword in the back there. Maybe a couple of swords there. Nice little, I'm guessing manzanita driftwood. And what's this up top? Oh, um, oh, I forget the name of that plant. It's interesting though. Good start. That's a very good start, Cole. Of course, you're going to need to let that grow in a little bit. You could even add some more plants. Probably. I'm not sure how big your sword or this plant in the back is going to get, but I'd love to see maybe 2 or 3 more kind of across the back here. Maybe 2 more across the back, and maybe a big rock or two. Kind of fill in some of that empty space you got. Uh, it's a good start though, and as those plants grow in, it'll just get better and better. All right, moving on. All right, this next one is from Jan. Um, and she says, when I originally put this thing up, I was like, let me know if you want me to evaluate them or you want me to show them off. I've kind of just, that's kind of gone off the rails. I was expecting to get maybe 15, 25 submissions, and that would be it. So Jan's left her Facebook address there if you'd like to ask her about anything you see here. I've just started getting into live planted tanks. Only 3 of my 10 tanks have live plants. I renewed my hobby interest in January 2020 after a 12-year break. Wow, that's a pretty long break and a pretty recent renewal of interest. This is my Fluval 15. I call it my Hobbit Hut tank. It contains celestial pearl dahlias, which are usually hiding. Yes. That happens a lot. I've found that as you increase the number of them, they tend to come out more. I also, in tanks where I've got the light sort of dimmed at different parts of the day, I see them come out as soon as the lights kind of dim down a little bit. Like they seem to want to come out in the evening, maybe not at night, but in the afternoon, morning, or the evening, I see them a lot, or my own versions. All right, so let's look at this Flex 15. Oh, well, I see why you call it your Hobbit tank. You got a little Hobbit hole right down there. And that's really cute. I like that. Now, I wonder if it came with that stuff on the top. Is this artificial stuff on the top? I think it is. I think it probably is. At first, I thought perhaps you put some uh, ricotta on there, or Ricka, I can't remember. Or some sort of moss or something on top. That would be really neat. I have seen it where it's just the face of the Hobbit hole, and then people have kind of built other things around it. But that looks neat. You got a nice little scene going in there. And here's a 10-gallon tank, my first planted tank. I call it my Groot tank. It's got some Rasboras, dwarf cories, elephant ear, betta, and my mystery snails. All right. Got the little Groot. Was Groot holding a little? Yeah, he's holding a little basket with a birdie inside. How neat! I like an ornament. As you guys know, I like an ornament or two sometimes to kind of add some whimsy to a tank. It just makes it kind of fun. Uh, that's a good looking tank. What else you got here? 10-gallon Enterprise tank. Oh yeah, I've seen this Enterprise ornament before. I was very tempted by it, and I thought it was really neat. What we got here? Oh, uh, 5-gallon and 2 Fluval Spec 2.5 gallons. The Beta Zen tank and Zebra Danios and Corys too. Let's just kind of like scroll over here. Ooh, that's some pink gravel. I'm not judging you. I wouldn't do it, but I'm not judging you, okay? And let's see. Oh, that's neat. What is this on the ground? Oh, the Corys. Okay, I thought that was a snake. Like from back here, it kind of looked like something really long, like a snake or something. You got the skinny Buddha. I bet it looks kind of neat too. Eh, probably making you guys sick zooming in and out like that. And you got it bookended with some more gravel. I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of the colored gravel. Let's see. Not judging you though. Like I said before, not really judging you. And this looks like a kind of a close up of that one in the middle. That's a really neat looking tank. 50-gallon lowboy Moomba tank plus 2 Sedonis catfish. Let's see if I can pull this up here. The lowboy tanks to me are fascinating. I'd like to do one. I just don't. I haven't made room. I haven't made room to really get in there and try that out. But I do find them fascinating. This would be a really good one for some plants, especially if you wanted to do some like plants coming out of the water and stuff too. So you got that Marineland BioWheel filter on the back. I used those quite a bit back in the day. All right. Oh, and is this a looking down view on it? Oh, it was just kind of a higher up view. That's neat. I like the low boy a lot. All right. Thank you very much, Jan. I appreciate it. Okay, so our next one comes from Dave, and it looks like Dave has a YouTube channel as well, Aquarium Thoughts, and there's a link. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Dave's Aquarium Thoughts. That looks like a good channel. Here we go. Costs you nothing to subscribe to another aquarium channel, and it kind of helps them a lot. Once a person gets over 1,000 views, they can put some ads and make, well, very, very little, but at least some money for the efforts that they put in making these things. And I'll be sure and check out Dave's thoughts on aquariums eventually. Not right now, though. All right, so back to the submission. Dave is showing it off, but you can critique if you want. Okay, let's take a look. He sent one picture. And, I think those are shelleys. Yeah, those look to be shelleys. Very cute little fish. Very neat. Got a bit of algae going. I like the algae pre-filter. That's pretty clever. That's one of those Seche pumps. I had one of the first ones of those. But a pretty neat looking tank. You got some Anubias in there, looks like. I haven't kept shelleys. I think they're fascinating little fish, and they look like they'd be fun. They're obviously very popular. I've seen a number of other YouTubers keep them, and those videos seem to do really well. But I guess I haven't pulled the trigger on making a tank dedicated to them. I think it looks neat. You got quite a bit of algae going in there, and I'm not sure what's up with that. Or if you like it. Some people like the algae. It's a nice kind of green touch here and there. Looks like you have a dead leaf that might need to come out or something right there. And of course, this has been a couple of months ago because I'm so slow putting these things together. But really cool fish. Oh, is that Buse? Yeah, I suppose some Buse there on top. Yep. That's pretty neat. I'll have to keep shelleys one day. Thanks for sending that along, Dave, and good luck on your YouTube channel. All right, this next one is from Terry Underwood. I have some of them on YouTube also. I have a total of 17 tanks and a small goldfish pond. Doesn't look like Terry put a link or anything for their YouTube channel, but certainly some really nice looking aquariums here. 17 tanks and a small goldfish pond. Wow, that's a lot of tanks. I know I've kept about that many tanks before all at once, and it is not easy. See if I can make this freeze right there. Nope. Really neat looking tank here. We got kind of the column thing going. We got the cryptocore at the bottom. Very familiar with that. And some other some stem plants. Maybe a little valve there in the middle. Maybe. Lots of neat little fish too. I like it. It looks like it'd be a fun tank to have in your living room. And this next one here. Oh, see, you got one of those key fish here. This fish right here will mow through blackbeard algae. They love it. It's a Siamese algae eater, I think. They can be easily confused with a flying fox, and this isn't really clear enough for me to tell for sure. Those two fish look very, very similar. It's like there's another one up here. Nope, that's something else. Of course, you've got the rummy-nosed tetras. Oh, another one of my favorite fish. This is a really nice looking tank. Looks very natural, very jungly. Got these things coming up there. Boy, those are gorgeous looking. Really deep red in there. It looks like it's been growing for a while. Got some dwarf sag here at the bottom. Very nice. This looks like it's pretty well grown in. Really nice natural setup. I like it. Was there another one? Yes, there's another one. Oh, how cool. All of these are very different. That's good. I kind of struggle with my tanks. Like, I make a lot of tanks and I try to make them so they look different. But I use plants from one tank to another tank to another tank, and it can be kind of difficult. They start to look the same because they have the same kind of plants in them. I try to vary it up a little bit. I really like these things. This is that money wort? Is that what that's called? Kind of like a penny wart or something like that, a money wart, because they almost look like coins. I'm probably wrong on that, but I love the look of those little plants there. They're really interesting. That looks like mermaid weed. I've been growing some of that, to keep the mermaids stoned. No, just kidding. I've been growing some of that, and that's a really neat looking plant, and seems to grow really well. This plant here, I think, is Bacopa. I'm really not good with on the spot plant identification, so you'll have to excuse me. But that looks neat. Very well grown in jungly tank. Wow, I love it. Love all the different leaf textures you have in here. I think I've said that a lot on a lot of these videos, but look at all the different textures of leaves. That's really neat too. That might be a cranium. I think that's a cranium. Very neat. Some pretty fish in there too. I really like that, Terry. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. All right, this next one is from Daniel. And Daniel apparently is from Knoxville and works in IT also. And he's offering me some well wishes and says that if Regal doesn't come back, he'd like to maybe help me out, send a resume over there. I wonder what it'd be like to watch someone on YouTube and then end up working with them. I think that would be pretty strange. But I really appreciate it, Daniel. Regal is not coming back anytime soon. I don't think. I don't see it happening. The movies are people. I don't know if people are going to feel comfortable going to the movies for some time. So I'm going to just do the best I can. I do have resumes out there. I am available for work. So if any of you need an old person that works on servers, let me know. Now, Daniel, looking at these pictures here, you have some really gorgeous tanks. Now, this would be a great, if we weren't in the middle of a pandemic, this would be a great tour. I'd love to come to your place and kind of see your process and see how you do these things. This looks great. Lots of cool plants. I've got some plants I can trade with you. We can trade plants back and forth. Oh, wow. Looks great. Really great use of those crypts as kind of a background across the whole side of it. Then you got a little smattering of some stem plants here. This Ritalia. A little bit more going over here. You got some moss kind of in the middle on I don't know, maybe a piece of wood or something like that. Looks like probably some Anubias in there too, and some dwarf sag at the bottom. Looks good. That looks really good. Nice job, Daniel. This is the same tank, I think, maybe from a slightly different angle. I like it. It looks like you got some CO2 going. I have that exact same checker in one of my other tanks. Yep, there's the bubbler for it on that side. Looks good. What's this? Oh, and here's an even closer look. I got some shrimpies in there. I see the shrimp down there. These are cardinal tetras. You can see how they're red. Goes all the way across the bottom. That means they're cardinal tetras, very similar. They like a little bit different temperature than neon tetras, so they're not actually the same or that similar in that manner. They look visually very similar though. All right, thank you, Daniel. That's some great tanks, and hopefully, when the coof is over, we'll get together. Feel free to drop me a line and let me know if you feel comfortable with that. I'd be happy to do a tank tour of your place. Or if you want to come over here and get some plants before I throw them away, let me know too. I trim all the time, so especially like these floating plants and stuff that I have in here. I've been throwing away handfuls of floating plants lately just because they take over and I got nowhere to give them to. So, all right, video submission. I am submitting. Who is this? David. David, I'm submitting a newly put together fluval megaflex, which you inspired me to buy. Oh. I actually broke down and sold my 55-gallon planted tank with the purpose of buying the megaflex. It may not look great since I literally just put it together yesterday, but feel free to critique your advice. Also, if you don't mind sharing my Insta page. Okay. This is Fish Hobbs Instagram, where you can see more of this megaflex. Yeah, you can always tell when they're newly set up. Like there's not there's not a lot of growth and stuff. But the plants you've chosen, I think, are going to do really well. Do really well in there. Yeah. It looks like it kind of looks like you didn't do any hardscape, which is understandable. Like there's kind of two schools of thought, and I run into this too. Like I really like a lot of dramatic wood hardscape, but then because I put so much of that in, I run out of space to plant plants. So it's real tempting to go, well, I'd rather have plants occupy those spaces than wood, because plants will help things and wood will just be a place for algae to grow. Well, I think in your case, maybe some rocks or some wood, even a little bit, kind of mixed in between, maybe like in this area here, and kind of coming out and breaking up some of the sight lines, because you kind of, what you have here is sort of like a parade of plants, and it's not a bad start. Like I think once all these grow in, it's going to look really great. But in the meantime, especially the beginning of your aquascape, your hardscape is actually the most important, like right at the beginning, or for most of mine anyway. So at the beginning of your aquascape, the hardscape is going to be really easy to see. And then as the plants grow and grow and grow, they'll slowly like take it over, and to a point where you don't see much of the hardscape at all. And then you'll trim it back and suddenly it's there again. So if I was going to offer a little bit of advice or critique, probably the main thing I'd say is maybe add some rock in there, or some wood, or something else to kind of give it a different texture. You got a little bit of rock in the back there. No, that's just a leaf. Okay. You know, I would probably, in fact, I would go with wood, like some little pieces of wood, just to kind of add some areas of interest in there. Because it kind of just looks like just a line of plants, and that's going to be fine eventually. But I think in the short term you'll enjoy it more. It'll be more intriguing and to the eye if you had something. Plus the wood, like a long piece of wood, or even some kind of real spindly pieces of wood, would really like bring the. It kind of drags your eye around the tank. You know, it doesn't just kind of like identify, identify, because your brain is just like plant. Whereas if you had a piece of wood, it would kind of like, it would be more, it kind of cause your eye to kind of pass along the whole landscape. Megaflexes are really cool tanks though. They have lots of different opportunities for aquascaping in there. I love the length of it and the width of it. I think it's a really cool tank, and I hope you enjoy it. I know I'm liking mine. Especially since I've got some fish that seem to eat the algae that was growing out of control in there. More on that later. But thanks a whole lot, Dave. That's a really cool tank, and I like it. All right, I think I'm going to do two more. And this next one is from Mark. And Mark says, this is the kind of thing you're looking for. It's a 65 gallon. And he goes into talk about his fertilization method with injected CO2. Okay. He's building up his livestock slowly. That's what he's got in there. 50% weekly water changes. I feel like I need a feature fish. I've been thinking about angels or discus. Any suggestions? I'm kind of looking at your list of inhabitants there. And boy, how big is this tank? 65 gallons. You've got a lot of fish in there already. 100 neons? Yeah. Getting some more autos? Okay. Yeah, autos probably be a little bit happier in a school. Sometimes you can keep them on their own. Let's see. Not really a big plant guy, so I can't identify everything in there, but I'm thinking of removing plants from the left-hand side of the tank. I'm trimming them in the hope that they will bunch up, but so far it doesn't look like they are. Okay, let's see what you got going here. Oh, that's actually a really pretty 65-gallon tank. Let's take a look at the left side here. All right, that's a Rotilia, and it's not going to bunch up. Those are stem plants, and they're going to get kind of long and spindly. In a tall tank like that, they'll probably start to look kind of ratty. They'll look great at the top, but the bottoms of them will always look kind of like a little rugged, a little worse for wear. Like the optimal way to trim them usually is once they kind of hit the top of the water and they're looking really nice and colorful, you cut them off about halfway up the stem, and then you take them and you plant and pull up the ones that were planted there before, and then you drag the ones that you trimmed down and plant them in there and let them kind of start the process again. They do like a fair amount of light, like they do a little bit better, a fair amount of light, and it doesn't look completely dark back there, but it looks a little bit darker, certainly darker than the rest of the area. Like it looks super bright right here, where your I guess that's hairgrass is. You've got a nice kind of feature sword plant here. That's a nice looking sword. You might want to consider maybe what probably would do what you're looking for might be like a big bunch of Anubias. It will happily grow there in kind of like a low light scenario. It'll grow really slowly. If you don't have light pouring on it, you won't have that lot to deal with in terms of algae and stuff like that. So that might be the kind of bunchy plant that you're looking for. There's a lot of different types of Anubias. If you want small leaves, you do the Anubias nana. If you want really big leaves, you do the Coprophylla. And then there's like a whole bunch of different types in between. Just kind of look them up. Some of them get quite large, but a lot of them stay pretty small. My kind of go-to plant in almost all my tanks is the Anubias nana. And it bunches up quite nicely and looks really good. As far as the rest of your tank, I gotta say, it looks really nice. I tell you, I have a lot of trouble keeping algae out of this stuff. I've tried to grow it a couple of times and have not done this well. So congratulations. Looks really good in there. I'm wondering what this is. It looks sort of familiar. It's a little out of focus, so I can't tell, but that's a neat looking plant too. I like the different textures between this grass and then that there. I think that's really neat. Oh, it looks like you've got some Anubias. Yeah, you got a little bit right there. But see, what you've done is, it might work out, okay? So like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But it's kind of in a really bright area. And it grows so slow, it's real prone to getting algae all over the leaves and stuff. It doesn't look like you've got a huge problem with it yet. I see a little bit kind of maybe coming up on there. But I think you'll be a lot happier with that sort of thing kind of off in a darker area of your aquarium. Overall, looks really neat. You'd also asked about a feature fish. Well, kind of your feature fish is that school of neons. As those things swim back and forth and back and forth, I'm not sure how tightly they school. I don't know if they do. They kind of look, I've never had that many in one tank, and I think that that would look really neat. You could add a feature fish in there, like an angel or a single angel or something like that. He'd probably chase everybody else around. I don't know how he would get along with your bettas, your female betta sorority that you also have going in here, or how they're getting along together. It's a pretty large tank. It's like, it's a pretty good amount of space. So I think a lot of them will be all right. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. To me, like, I love a huge school of fish like you've got there. I love that, and I always think of them as one fish. Uh, Particularly the ones that move together. Now, the closest I came to that was with rummy nose tetras, and they do move. They all move together when they move back and forth. So it feels like one big fish, even though it's a bunch of little fish. And that I really miss that. Next time I have an opportunity to put some in a long tank, I'm probably going to do that. Um, I miss having my rummy nose in my 55. I've got them in a cube now, and it's just not the same. It's not the same. They don't have that room to kind of go back and forth in those uh, long movements. Thanks a lot, Mark. That's a great looking setup. I think it looks good. If you want to throw an angel in there, that would probably be all right. I don't know about discus. I don't give discus advice because I haven't kept any, and I've been too scared to buy any. All the ones that are for sale here, they say RO water only. So that's what they were raised in and stuff. And I don't have that system set up, and I should probably set it up. I think if the job thing comes back and I start working again, um, maybe I'll get back into that. But it's not happening anytime soon, so I'm gonna have to keep my discus virginity for now. Good luck though. All right, so I said I was going to skip the line a little bit and go ahead and show you one of my buddy's tanks. This is a fish tuber buddy of mine. And now we don't know each other super well or anything like that. He bought one of my shirts and sent me a picture. I showed it on one of my videos, and I subscribed to his channel and decided to look around. And I like his videos. He has some neat videos, big puffer and stuff. Um, but he's the crazy aquarium guy, and he is pretty crazy. I think that's a fair assessment. This is his 145 gallon in its prime. No ferts, no CO2, just crushed coral and pool filter sand. But highlight 4 times 54-watt aquarium high output T5s and a 23-watt Luminex LED. 60 Corys, 10 Plecos. Wow, that's a lot of Plecos. 40 rainbows, 10 Denison barbs, 4 Siamese algae eaters. There's an algae eating squad right there. Between the 4 Siamese algae eaters, the 10 barbs, which also eat algae like crazy, and then the 10 Plecos. It's an algae eating fiesta in there. It's a very high feeding of this tank made the fish poop proven to be great natural fertilizer. Yeah, I bet. Uh, and he says some nice things. Thank you very much, Zachary. And we're going to show everyone your email address, okay? I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Oh, look how gorgeous that looks. I love the color in there. I can't believe you're doing that with just pool filters. Well, he's very, very stocked up. Like, he's got a lot of fish in there. Looks like a nice mix of rainbows. But look how beautiful that red plant is right there. So pretty. And it just really pops right in the middle. And a lot of it's green, but they're like, look how they're different colors of green. Like, you've got kind of a lighter, then a darker, different leaf structures and stuff all the way through here. You got some simple, easier plants and some probably harder plants mixed in there together. A lot of different fish too. A lot of different kind of shapes of fish. Even your rainbows, you don't just have one kind of rainbow. It looks like you've got a couple of different types of rainbow. Really, really pretty. Really pretty in there. Very cool pictures, Zach. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate your videos too. I think you do a good job, and look forward to seeing more from you. Yeah, if you look him up, his Zach's Tanks Crazy Aquarium Guy. He's at about 6,000 subscribers right now. He's got his little puffer there. Yeah, oh, it looks like he's got turtle stuff. Oh no. Looks like he lost his puffer. Yeah, I actually saw that come through my feed a while back. Lots of different things in here. There he is. He doesn't look like a crazy guy, does he? So thanks for sending in your stuff, Zach. It's always good to hear from you. And I hope this year goes better for you. I'm sorry to hear about your puffer. That's too bad. I know you liked him a lot since he's like in your logo and everything and stuff like that. That's always tough, especially when you're living your life in public and stuff, and when your prize fishes goes. That's too bad. Those turtles look awfully cool though. Okay, folks, so that's where I'm going to leave it for today. I've got many more pictures in here. I've got at least, I think I'm to like 70 emails. I continue to get emails. Of course, I had some information flashing on the screen. Unfortunately, I cannot guarantee when I'll get to your submissions, but I promise that eventually I will do them all. I'm doing my best to go through these maybe once a week, or at least once every other week. I'm trying to, it makes for a good kind of extra video in the week. I wish I could be more consistent about what day it comes out. But these are fun and kind of easy to make, so, why not put them out, right? Coming up this weekend, we have Kerrigan and I making terrariums. We made a couple of small, probably kind of pitiful terrariums. They're very much amateur, first-time terrariums. Now, I've aggregated a lot of knowledge from Serpa Design and many other YouTube people that make terrariums. But I'm going to take that knowledge and pass it on again through my own point of view. Then a week after that, of course, I'm going to show you the rest of this tank, which is now fully planted and looking gorgeous. That's going to come up real soon, too. But until we meet again, follow your bliss, keep a clean tank, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. I think I'm going to do, so at some point, I think probably what I'm going to do is, the week after that, of course, we're going to go ahead and give Zach the thumbnail for the week. So I got to make my thumbnail face. So here we go. People really love it when you make the crazy thumbnail face.